And now, let's see. Where is Blair? Okay, that should be good. Now, we were doing the podcast earlier, and the it cut off, so I've decided to do it on IG instead. Now, where is Blair? Yo, what's good? July 27th. Yo, hell yeah. Hey, it's the Blair. No. Yeah, but I was really doing the pod cut off like midway, so we're just gonna continue on IG Live just for the hell of it. It's the Blair. Welcome back.
Hello, thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry, ignore all this. I was trying to set something up.
Oh man. Nice. So what were we talking about again before the whole thing cut off?
I think it might be, I
Oh
think
yeah,
we were
about putting
talking
on music.
about as far as like singles. Yeah, putting out music and like for the sake of putting out music. Um, and just like I like kind of how you said earlier, you wouldn't want to put out just a lot of artists, and I see this too. A lot of artists are getting on that trend where they're putting out singles just to put out like music, and that's fine. But I think a lot of them forget the quality over quantity type of thing.
Exactly.
And I definitely like I agree with you. I think, and how Nick had said, he had said to me in a whole different retrospect, because we were talking about what I wanted to put out next year, and he was like, "Well, that might be too much content in regards to the time frame that I wanted to put it all out." And he was like, "That might be too much content." And I thought about it, and I was like, he's right, because like if you're gonna put all of that out there, you're not going to give your viewers time to, or your listeners time to actually like take in what you're putting out.
Mm,
And then you're not putting
exactly.
out like art anymore. You're just kind of putting out stuff just to put it out.
Mm. I also see like a lot of artists
Yeah.
making the same mistake of like they're not even really developed yet, but they're like putting out music like crazy, and then when you listen to the song, it's like it's not that good, and they like don't care. Like they're trying to like follow the Russ and Be Dice strategy where you put out as much music as possible. When in reality, the reason why it worked out for them was because they put out quantity and quality. So you have to put in both. Like you can't like try to
Yeah.
half-ass the way through the music process.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I've seen that too, and I was attempting to try to do that whenever I was before Nick had actually found me on SoundCloud, and I was just trying to put out cover after cover after cover just to put something out there, and none of it sounded good because it was just I didn't know what I was doing. I was a new artist. I didn't know how to fully access like my vocals. I didn't know I just and I wouldn't like I didn't know music theory as well as I should have, and just all of those components into it made it really crappy content. And like he even told me, he was like,
Oh damn it,
because
freeze again.
it didn't bring my like, oh, what was it?
Oh, it froze again for a little bit. I think it's good now.
Oh no. I was just
Yeah.
saying, okay, I was just saying how like it putting out all of that stuff, like it was nice to put it all out, but it was kind of pointless because it wasn't good quality. It wasn't showcasing my actual talent and it wasn't showing what I could do. It was just showing that, yeah, you could put out songs, but it doesn't sound good.
I know, right? Nick is freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Like I remember
He's a big
listening to a
quality
song
over
with him.
quantity.
I know, right? Nick is one of the most coolest persons I ever spoken to and worked with, and like,
Hmm.
yo, I want to do more songs with him. I want to do more songs with you, and it's like,
Yes.
yo, like these guys are freaking awesome at what they do. Like I looked at his work, and he's like so dedicated, and he's awesome, and like he keeps it 100% when it comes to working with people, and that's the energy I want to see like all the time from
I think it's,
my friends, my engineer friends, and everyone else.
yeah, I think it froze again.
Oh yeah, I did a little bit, but I guess it should be fine.
I think so. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, he's phenomenal, and the people he surrounds himself with is phenomenal as well. I love seeing as much talent as he brings in. I feel like he attracts talent, and I love seeing just like the talent that he'll bring in and the talent that he'll surround himself with because it's astronomical.
I know, right? This kid is amazing.
Mhm.
Um, out of all the songs you did so far, which one is your favorite?
It's actually one that we haven't even finished. It's called The
What?
One. And we
Yeah.
literally did the chorus and that's it. And I still like I I've been trying to we had like verses and stuff written for it and it just like didn't make sense to put those in there. And so now it's just like a chorus and then another chorus.
Oh
And
man.
I really like I want to finish it so bad. It is my favorite. It is the best song I've ever done, hands down, and it's literally only a chorus. And I thought about putting someone else
Whoa.
on it, but I wasn't quite sure like who would be able to add to it. It's so 2010 like Starships by Nicki Minaj like meets EDM, but
Oh.
it's so sick. Oh my God, it is so good.
Yeah, you got me hyped because I know you always deliver every time.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's my best one yet. And I can't even put it out yet because it's not even finished. I don't even know what I would. I've been
Man.
trying so hard to add more lyrics to it and to add something to it. And every time I do, I'm just like, that doesn't sound good. It doesn't give it justice. It's such a special song. It's such a good song that I don't want to ruin it and like fuck it up with something that's just gonna be like, it sounds like half-assed because I hate half-assing stuff because I feel like it doesn't sound nearly as good as it could if is when you do the whole production and everything.
Nice. Like I remember like some of my older music, like I used to be like such a perfectionist. I literally like rewrite my song like 3 times. Like
Yeah.
if I don't like the verses, I'm gonna rewrite it again, and I still like do it to this day.
I don't know if you follow me on Twitter, keep my Twitter because I'm trying to let it grow. But I tweeted how much I missed Nick and recording with him because I was like I'm doing those covers on GarageBand on the computer and I'm trying my best to learn how to like do the basic production and it's so hard. And I was like I also need that little birdie on my shoulder telling me when enough is enough, like stop second guessing yourself because that's like my biggest issue is I'll second guess myself and I'll rewrite or I'll re-sing too many times or do too many takes and there is such a thing as too many takes. A lot of people any producer will tell you there's too many takes, but a lot of like singers and perfectionists that I've like talked to are like there's not so much like there's not too many takes. Like that's not a thing. I'm just like, "Oh, yes there is." Whenever you get to 20 takes and you still haven't gotten it and you're just like
Oh man, that's
cuz
crazy.
I'm such a perfectionist that I like hear one wrong thing and I'm just like, "No, redo it." Like redo it. And
Oh,
Nick's by like the fifth take, like yeah, 3 to 5. By the fifth take, Nick is just like, no, that's fine. Like it sounds good. And, like it's fine. And I'm just like, it's not fine.
man. Like that's like how my work process usually works. I usually have like at least 5 different engineers I send my stuff to,
Mhm.
and I'd be second guessing myself a lot, and they'd be like, "Yo, this is fine." I'm like, "No, I'm hearing something. Like I need to fix this."
Yeah. I think especially when we are so aware of our own art, we're gonna obviously be our worst critic and we're gonna hear every flaw possible in there. And it's hard for me to not hear it, but to also remember like any minor thing Nick can fix in production. It's fine. Like he can fix it. But in my head, and when I'm hearing it, I'm just like, ugh. When we first start recording, before he puts any presets on it, I like hear it back and I'm just like, nope, nope, I hate that. That's so dry. That's gross. And he's like, wait. He's like, wait. Let me put the stuff on it and then it's gonna sound good. Because that's my biggest issue with recording in studios is that I think a lot of people don't understand too. It's so different from live singing because your voice, like the texture and everything that comes out of your voice is just gone. It is just so dry in a studio mic. And I don't know why that is. I don't know if there's like a reason that I just never learned, but it's always so dry. And that's my biggest like pet peeve is hearing that because I'm just like, oh, I know I don't sound like that in real life. Ugh.
Oh man, like some mics work differently. I remember when I was in audio school at the time, there were like different mics bring out different effects. So
Mm.
you just have to experiment which mic suits you. But at the end of the day, like the mic is not really the issue. It's like the engineer. Like if the engineer can do the job anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yep, yep. I'm actually my next mic is gonna be a Newman because I'm so like I love the mic I have, but I really like a Newman is gonna be the next mic. That's like my next big girl toy that I would like to buy. But that I got all the stuff ready for it. I got all like the mic pre and everything ready for it and the ones I was supposed to get because I asked Nick, I was like, okay, if I get this Newman, then obviously I'm gonna have to have a bomb ass like mic pre. Like I'm not gonna be able to just get like a cheap one and call it a day if I'm gonna get a Newman because it's not how it works. And so I got like a really nice one. I'm just like waiting till I can get that, just putting away in savings so I can get it because that's
That's
like
awesome.
for me that's what a toy is. Like I love new microphones. New microphones are literally candy.
Me too. Like I always go to the Guitar Center just to check all the gear out. Which mic pre you got?
I have actually it's a set, which I didn't know when I first bought it that I was gonna have to buy it in a set. And you don't have to, but to make it for the Newman, you have to. But I got the PreSonus, the tube, and then I got the PreSonus Studio 24C to
Nah,
go together. And once I get the Newman, I'll hook both of them up. Right now, I'm just working out of the PreSonus tube because it's easier with the mic I have. But obviously, whenever I get the Newman, hook them both up and do the thing.
nice. That's freaking awesome. Um, Tell me about the new single you're dropping this Friday.
Okay. So okay, when you asked me what my favorite one was that I've done so far too, this is one of them. So the new single that I'm releasing this Friday is called Preempting is called I Don't Care. And to follow it, we had Nick's brother Ferris remix it. So there's going to be a remix to follow as well. So I'm
Oh,
super excited for that. It's a very like house party, like very summery song. It's a good, even though COVID is kind of sucking the fun out of everything. It's a very good
relatable.
song to bop to during the summer. So I'm super excited about that because that's like kind of like a positive light on everything that's going on, and I hope that it can bring at least temporary fun to those who are stuck at home and bored out of their minds. I know a lot of artists are trying to make summer jams, and I think with COVID going on, it's kind of hard to make something that really can be called a summer jam if you can't go out and actually jam to it. But I'm hoping that this at least is a good temporary kind of things for people to kind of forget about what's going on in the world for at least 4 minutes of their life and just kind of have fun with it and dance to it and stuff. But I'm super excited because it's something that like when I first wrote it, it was gonna be a sad song, and then whenever like I started discussing like just tempo and just everything that I wanted out of it, Nick was like, "All right, let's do this." And that's what I love about Nick too is he's got such a good ear for things, and he's got such a good like, I guess you'd say imagination, but he just hears things before it's even implemented or the instrumental's even made, and he's just like, okay, what if we actually did this? And it like just turns it into something magical and it's really cool. So I'm super excited about it. It's actually when I first started writing it, it was about a guy, and then I slowly realized that this song plus the next song that we're gonna release after is definitely about like an ex-friend. And it's more it's cool because it's something that I know if I can relate it to other things other than, you know, past relationships, that other people will be able to as well. And it's kind of like a fun little like well, I mean, the lyrics are "I don't care what you do," so it's kind of like a fun little like, I don't really care what you do. Like you're toxic for me, but at this moment in time, like I don't care. Let's have fun. Like whatever. As long as I'm with you, let's go. Let's go have fun. Even though it's definitely about toxic people, but
I really can't wait for this to come out. Like, it comes out in like 3 days. If I, yeah,
two,
3 days, 2 days.
two.
Oh, yeah, I'm messing
Yes.
up the days.
No,
Yeah,
you're
and
fine.
it's great because a lot of my friends are dropping music on that day, and even I'm dropping like the new one on that day as well. So it's
I
like so hyped
think it froze
because
just a
all
little
of
bit.
my friends are like dropping music like crazy. Oh damn, did it freeze again? Oh, yeah, it's good.
Yeah, we're back. We're
Alright.
back. I was
Yeah, we're back.
too. I noticed a lot of
Oh, what's happening?
that. I dang it, we're frozen again.
Yeah, I think we're good
Okay, a
now.
lot of people that I look up to are dropping like singles and stuff, and I'm super excited. Like Nikki Z Martino's dropping one tomorrow, which is super like cool that she's dropping one like right
Nice.
before I'm dropping one because I look up to her as an artist. And I'm really excited because her song is something that like I've already like I've seen like the vibe to it, and I know I'm gonna relate to it, and I'm really excited that I'm gonna have like that option to listen to that, and then like the day after like my song's gonna come out and it's gonna be like a fun like almost like follow up from her song. I don't know what her song's about, but I mean her song's called like Alone in My Car, and I'm like super excited to hear that because like my car is also my refuge. Like that is where I escape. So I'm kind of excited to like be moody and like hear that and kind of like vibe with that, and then go from that to like, you know what, but I don't care. Like I don't care. Like just have fun with it the next day.
Oh man. Now, enough about music for now. How is Livid like?
Live it. I love it. Okay. Live it is really cool. For those of you who don't know, it's a live streaming app. It's very similar to like Twitch and stuff like that. But the gifting situation is similar, what I've noticed, kind of to TikTok live. And it's just a lot of fun. The community is really good. And it's really cool that, you know, it brings you closer. And I think it's a really nice space when treated correctly for like just a positive space to come together and like really just talk and get to know one another. And from there you can also do like live concerts, and it's a lot of fun to be able to share like my creative side with people and really get to know people and have them get to know me, because it's if I want to do a concert one day I can do a concert. If I want to just sit down and talk, I can sit down and talk. If I want to play trivia, I can play trivia. And it's really cool to just to, especially doing trivia, it's really cool to see what your fans know as far as like music and stuff like that, because a few of mine have surprised me. A few of mine I'm just like, wow, your music knowledge is very up there with mine, and I wouldn't have expected it because like some of them only primarily listen to K-pop, or they only primarily listen to rock, but they have this whole back end of pop culture knowledge that I never knew that they had, because you know, for the most part when they talk to me they talk mostly, of course they listen to my music, but they talk mostly of like K-pop or rock and stuff like that. And it's cool to see like other than their primary interest what their other interests are too.
Oh, that is awesome. I'm
Yeah.
also like really like I've always been listening to K-pop, but like back then when I was listening to K-pop, like people would scorn you for listening to it.
Yeah.
And now like ever since like BTS blew up, like everyone is trying to tell me like, oh, BTS is awesome, BTS is awesome. I'm like, yo, this is what I've been listening to all this whole time. You're late.
Yeah, you're late to the game. That's how everything is. I feel like everything worth listening to, it always takes a little bit for people to actually want to listen to it. It's a lot of like it's like anyone's songs off of an album. Like you'll have your main that are like your radio ones that, you know, they go mainstream and shit. And then you'll have the ones that a lot of people don't really like right off the bat. But if you sit down and listen to it, you're like, wow, this is actually quality right here. Like this is better than the radio stuff. Like there's so many songs that are on like Camila
Yeah.
Cabello's album. Her first one, I was like looking through her songs last night because I was doing a live stream and singing them. And I was like, wow, like some of these songs did not get the recognition they deserved. And same with like Britney Spears, like some of off her first album, Baby One More Time. There's like five songs that I listened to that like never in my life did I hear them touch any sort of radio, and they should have.
I
And
know.
it's like wild.
Yeah, I feel that like all the time. Like I listen to a lot of artists, and sometimes I listen to their albums, and it would be like, "Yo, why isn't this on the radio? Like this is great."
Yeah, it's nuts. It's crazy. I feel like
Right.
the best stuff doesn't go on the radio. I mean, even like, I look up to Ariana Grande. She said it one time too. Some of her best stuff is, it never really even charted. And she's like so right about that. Like some of her best stuff, like never charted, still hasn't charted. Some of it took a while to chart. Like the Christmas albums she puts out, like her Christmas EPs, they are phenomenal. They're so good. And they literally didn't get anything when she first put them out. When she first put them out, it was just like, why didn't these go number one? They should have, because they're so good. And I feel like a lot of artists have those. Yeah, the B-side songs are usually better than the A-side, for sure.
Yeah. And yo, I think recently you did how much numbers on Livid? Um, I was like, wow.
No, it's
Do
cutting
you have
out.
any
Hold on.
advice for any artists or anyone who would like to be on Livid?
I'm sorry, you cut out. What was that?
Oh, do you have any advice for anyone who would like to join Livid?
Oh yeah, absolutely. First of all, DM me if you would. But so to join Livid, you can join Livid and you can just start streaming. But the best way to do it is to join Livid as a contracted streamer. And for that, you can come to a streamer like myself, and I can get you hooked up with like my talent manager and get you contracted. That just means that you're going to be making more money and you're going to have more opportunity to make more money. And on top of that, any advice, just do it. It's so much fun. It's kind of nerve-wracking at first because you're talking to nobody, but you're also talking to people, if that makes sense. But because that's like my first time going into streaming was Livid. I'd never streamed at all before that, and like my friend Sydney is the one who got me into it, and she goes, "Yeah, just get on. Like, don't be nervous. Just get on and like just start talking." And I was just like, "What if no one comes?" And she goes, "People are gonna come watch. Like, you're a pretty girl. Like, it's fine." So I got on, and I'm like at my desk, and I'm just like, "Hi, I'm Blair. Nice to meet you
Yo,
guys." And I've seen so much success from it. It's so cool how far I've grown. I think I actually just hit 50K followers on it
that's
this
awesome.
morning. Yeah, and it's pretty nuts.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm still like I'm like, is that real? Like, I mean, whenever I get on, it's definitely real because a crap ton of people come through, but it's still like weird that like 50,000 people follow me. Like it's unreal.
Yo. And if I remember correctly, you also do this full time as well, right?
I do. It is my main source of income from now on. That and merch sales and Spotify streams.
Yo, that is awesome. How long did it take for you to transition from just doing it for fun to how it become like how it is right now?
I got really lucky. It only took a month. It took a month of people trying, like, getting to like know who I was, and then by the second and third month, I was pretty steady. And the fourth month is kind of what like really got me there, because the income I earned from my fourth month, it was just more than enough to be able to, get back on my feet, and then also kind of just put bill money aside and savings aside and just be able to do this full time and just continue to save, which is really cool that I'm able to do that. It's pretty insane, honestly.
Yo, that is crazy. Is it hard to be a streamer, or is there
The
any complications at all, or anything?
Wait, what was that last question?
Oh, is there any complications, or is it stressful or anything?
Oh, love it. In my at least experience, it's stressful because we live out in the middle of nowhere. As you can tell, I have terrible signal, so live streaming is the worst here. I
Oh
bought
man.
a external this thing to try and help that. It didn't help because it my just where I live is just very shitty. So we're working on getting me to 5 million for this month, which I don't think we're going to come close to. It's a slow month, but we're trying to hit bigger numbers so that I am able to put away more savings and move. Um, so that I can have better internet because we've upgraded our internet, we've gotten new internet, I've gotten that thing to extend the internet, and nothing is helping. We just have shitty internet, and we don't have any I don't have any LTE or 4G out here, so I'm solely on
Oh.
Wi-Fi, and it's like the shittiest of the shitty Wi-Fi, and that's the only thing that like we have out here is the shittiest of the shitty Wi-Fi. So like your normal day-to-day things, it's fine for, but when you're trying to, use any upload speed, you got none. It's
That
the worst.
sucks. Where do you plan on moving to?
I am trying to move back to LA or Las Vegas. I'm not really picky at this point. I'm just trying to move back west because I don't see any point in moving out like here where I'm at because I hate it here. So I wouldn't want to
Um,
like I'm in a cool spot right now which I can I'm with my parents so I'm safe from anything right now and I'm also able to save money a lot of it and really like put it towards moving and moving fees and stuff like that. But again, like moving across country is much more expensive than just moving across cities because as you know, it's about 3,000 miles from my house to where I would like to live. So that means getting a trailer and packing all my stuff and putting it in there, not to mention having a couple months rent aside from, your deposit and everything saved up. So it's a lot. Um, but I miss it out there. I loved the West Coast. I don't think that I would ever actually relocate back to the East Coast. Like once I'm trying to prepare myself so that when I get out there, it's for good. Um, I don't want to have to come back. I don't want to get stuck again because what happened was I came back for a little bit, and then after COVID happened, I got stuck because I was supposed to move back in January, and then COVID happened and I got stuck. So I was like, I
that
don't.
blows.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want to be stuck here anymore. I can't do it. But that is what we are trying to do on Livid is to try to get me to the point where I can move so that I can have better streams and just better internet. Because if I'm like out in my car, just at the gas station, I do a lot of car streams, like car talk streams, because it's like literally the gas station. It's like a truck stop, but it's not. It's like on the freeway, like on the exit of the freeway. And I just go to that. I like sit down in my car and I just have car talks with them because that's like the best way that I can get a good stream in without any interruptions, without any like pausing, without any like weird shit happening in the stream. It's like the best way that I can do it for right now, being out here.
That's the wave right now for now, it seems. But
Yeah,
yo, the whole COVID, it like screwed over like so many plans.
I know. And I was supposed
Yeah.
to go back to Nick in like June, like May and June. And as COVID like progressed, I was just like, man, I'm not getting back out to you, am I? I was actually supposed to, no, I was supposed to go back out to him in April. I was supposed to go end of April. I was supposed to go to him and LA to go see my friends. And when COVID hit really hard, especially here in Florida, and our numbers and New York's numbers started going up, I was like, well, shit, I guess I'm not going.
Oh,
So it sucked. It sucked so bad.
I know, right? Like I wanted to do like my first like solo show. You did the artwork for the show too,
I
and I was like
know.
so excited for it. And then like COVID happened, and my friend was like, "Yo, we can't close this." I'm like, "Dude, we're not gonna have a choice." And they were like, "Oh shoot, this is gonna suck."
I saw that. I was like, man, that
Yeah, I
really
was really
sucks.
pissed.
That
But
really
like,
sucks.
I just hope this shit goes over like really quick. Because as soon as this shit goes over, I'm gonna be on the road. Like I don't care. Like I don't care if I don't sell enough tickets wherever I go. Like I'm just gonna be on the road, like doing
Yeah.
whatever.
That's what I really love about live streaming too, and that's initially what I wanted it to do is I wanted it to be since it is my main source of income, I wanted it to be something where I could travel and I got to the point where I could, quit my job and do it full time. And then I still like I sat down and realized the other day I was like, I can do this, I can do that, I can do this, I can do that. And I was like, wait a second, no, you can't. Haha. They're probably about to close down the country again. No, you can't. It
Oh
just
man.
really sucks because I just really want to do so many things. I just want to go and I want to play shows and then I want to sing live again. I want to meet people again and actually like I think the most fun part for me starting out too, because it's something that you're not used to when you're a beginning artist, is going to a show, doing a really good job, coming out and people wanting to take your picture with you and people wanting to give you a hug and say hi and meet you. And it's just the coolest thing ever. Like that first experience like that is unlike any other. It's a head rush and I miss that. I miss being able to come off stage and people be waiting there to like meet me and stuff. I think that's like the most fun part about it. And can't do it because of
Oh man.
COVID.
Like I miss that so much too as well. Like after doing the show, people like come and greet you, tell you, "Oh, you did a great job." You
Yeah.
could even meet like new artists who want to collab, and you could be cool friends with later. Like I miss like that interaction. Like this whole COVID thing ruined
Yeah.
that like for
I
almost
know.
everybody.
Yeah, and it sucks because it's like it continues. It's continuously going on, and it's like, can it please be over? Can we just like all wear our mask? Can we cut the curve? Can we get this over with so that we can start doing fun things again? Because I hate being stuck at home, but I'm also not about to catch COVID. Like it's a catch 22.
Same.
It's like I hate being stuck at home, but at the same time, like, I'm not about to risk my health and my life to just go out and for one thing. And I'm not about to like risk anybody else's either.
Exactly. Do you feel like they're playing games with the coronavirus right now?
I wouldn't put it past them. I
Hmm,
wouldn't put it past them. Our government's pretty backwards and
exactly.
I wouldn't put it past them, but I also think too that I do believe our numbers are spiking because people, at least I can speak for what I've seen in Florida, people don't care.
Hmm,
People think it's fake and so many that's the problem and that's the problem with going into that theory of our government's like messing with us is that people take that narrative and then they stick with it and then they get that in their heads and they're like no, the whole thing's fake, it's not real, and then they go out without their mask on, they go out and they contract it and they pass it, and then our numbers do rise because people are getting it because they're not caring because they think it's fake even though it is still a real virus. We still don't have a cure for it or a shot or anything for it. And so like that's something that people are forgetting. Like it is still very real. People are still definitely dying from it. And it doesn't matter at the end of the day, like people try to put in that like, oh, but he had a underlying, like no, it doesn't matter. Like point blank, people are still dying from it. It doesn't matter if they had an underlying issue or not. Like the point of it is that they still like are dying from it and they're still getting it and they're still being what is I think it's like intubated or whatever that I'm not a doctor, so I don't know what that word is, but they're still being placed in hospitals, and it's a very scary, real thing, and people are forgetting that because they want to try and say like it's fake, and it's crazy.
I
Florida's
know.
crazy.
Like I feel like it's split between like people who don't believe in it at all and people who believe in it a little bit too much. Like a couple of days ago I saw a video from
Yeah,
the CDC, right? I believe this was in Florida where they were saying that one person who contracted the virus is the same as 17. So I was like, wait a second, does that mean they're inflating the numbers? This is why people don't care that much because they're inflating the numbers on purpose. And I was like, yo, maybe they're actually playing games with the virus to make it as bad as it is, but I still believe it's real.
yeah,
But people are playing so
yeah.
much games that people are at the point where they either believe it or they don't believe it, which is stupid because the only thing that's going to happen is more people are going to end up getting the virus. Like,
Yeah.
you have to be locked down a lot longer, and it's going to ruin everything for everyone.
Yeah. I think what people don't understand is that you can have an in the middle. Like people always want to pick a side. And at the end of the day, you don't have to do that. Like there's so many things where you don't have to have that ultimatum. Like it's in this case, like with COVID, I do think that they're probably, inflating the numbers. I do think that they're probably like hospitals are probably, some hospitals might be putting COVID on people's death certificates to get a bonus because they are getting paid out for, if they have a COVID case and someone passes away from it, unfortunately.
That's screwed
Um,
up.
Yeah, they're only getting paid for it to be able to afford more supplies, but of course, hospitals like to make their money, so they're finding ways around it to cheat the system, and it's unfortunate, but it happens. And I think what people don't understand though is that this isn't every hospital doing it, and the inflation isn't everywhere. Like, people still need to understand that while the numbers are might be like being altered, the point of the matter is that COVID still exists. I think if the government would stop kind of messing with stuff like that, it would help a lot of people take it serious a little bit more, just because, like you said, people are
Oh damn, it froze
believe in it
again.
at all, or they
Oh damn it. Oh, we good now.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just saying, I think, if the government would kind of stop playing with it, then people would take it a little bit more serious because then they'd see actual numbers. But I think at the end of the day, people need to start using more common sense instead of just listening to right wing or left wing media, and just realize that, like, at the end of the day, this is still a virus that we don't have a cure for. This is still a virus that we don't have
Exactly.
a vaccine for at all, and we still need to treat it as such. It's just like I'm sure when the flu first happened, like we didn't treat it as such, and for example, the Spanish flu. It came in waves, and that's what people aren't realizing. That's what people didn't realize is when they started to reopen, like it was going to come back in a wave 10 times worse. And that's
Oh,
what it's
God.
doing right now. Our numbers are going up higher and higher and higher. And whether or not those are inflated or not, like we're probably never going to know. But at the end of the day, again, it's still serious. People are still getting it. People are still being, some people are dying from it. Some people are just
And like even the people who like,
not to take serious.
oh damn, it's cutting off again. Is it good?
Where did it cut off at?
Um, it cut off. Where did it cut off? It slipped up after you were talking about whether people believe it or not, like it's still a real virus.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think people just need to use their common sense and realize that it's still very real. It's still something that is like killing people and, putting people in the hospital and like the, OR and ER, and people need to realize that it's as terrible as like everything is right now, it's still real, and they need to, if you have the option to stay home, like I have the option to stay home when I go out for anything, I put a mask on. I have a mask in my car ready for me and hand sanitizer because I have autoimmune disorder, so I can't get it. If I get it, then I don't know what it's going to be like if I get it. I don't want to find out,
Um,
like point blank. And I would hate it if I went out and I caught it because someone was careless enough to not wear a mask. So I always just protect myself to make sure that I don't contract it. But the only thing that I do is I go through the McDonald's drive-thru every day, get myself a Dr. Pepper, and go and stream.
that's awesome. Unfortunate for me, like I don't have that option. Like I still work my job, so I still have to like go out, like wear a mask, and I guess hope that like I don't slip up somewhere and just like take the mask down where someone's nearby. Like if there's people, I'm obviously gonna wear the mask. But if I'm by myself, I take the mask down because like I have to walk like hills to like get to the train station anyway, and
Yeah.
it's usually like hard. Like now that it's hot, like you're sweating like crazy, and it's like
Oh
hard to
yeah.
breathe, and it's like yo, this is insane. Like how could people wear this like all the time? Like
Yeah. And I know a lot of
it's
people are
crazy.
complaining about like not being able to breathe, and then people are complaining about that. But at the same time, like if you live in a humid state like Florida, for
Mm,
example, I had my mask on to go grocery shopping because I was out of food. So I was just like, all right, well, let's do it. So I put it on, and even walking from my car to to the grocery store entrance, I was like, oh my God, I can't breathe. Like it is so humid out. And in a normal weather pattern, yes, you can breathe. But in a not normal weather pattern, I do see where these people, I think some of the people are getting to the point where they're getting a little too dramatic about it. But I
yeah,
do see some of the people like saying like I can't breathe in the mask. Like I get it because it's humid and it's hot, and it is suffocating if you don't have the right type of mask. And I don't think that any of us really have the right
exactly.
type. I feel like a lot of us are just using, masks that may have just come in like bulk packaging, and they're not exactly the best, but like they protect, they do something. but you still can't breathe. It's a cloth over your face.
Nice. So, oh, it cut off again. Oh, now you're back. So, oh, still frozen. Gotta wait a little bit. And is it
Are we
back?
back?
Yep, we back.
Okay.
Nice.
Uh,
So,
we gotta get me moved
before
out to LA.
I was supposed to go there, but like I'm not sure what I'm gonna do right now. But I know I'm gonna be traveling a little bit. Like I already told you, I'm gonna go to Jersey for a little bit, and
Yeah.
after that, I'm trying to figure out like where I want to go next because this year I really wanted to travel. COVID kind of screwed it up, but I'm like trying to not to go too far away from where I live in New York.
Yeah. I think as long as if you're gonna travel, as long as you're doing it safely, like it's fine. Like I think what people don't understand, like some people think that, well, you have to stay home, blah, blah, blah. The stay home order is mainly the best thing for those who don't want to wear the mask. Like if you're not going to wear a mask, if you're not going to hand sanitize, if you're not going to be cautious about it, then yes, please stay home. Um, and if you don't have that option, then wear the mask. Like if like I just up until like last month, like I was like you, where I had to go to work, I was always wearing a mask. I was always sanitizing everything. We had Lysol, so I was always spraying after every person that even touched it or like came in contact with it because I don't want to get it. And I think as long as you're doing it, as long as you're traveling and you're doing your day to day,
Oh,
it's
did I cut
fine.
off again? Oh, oh, we good.
Okay. I got scared. I was like, oh no, not again.
Nice. So, I think we've been on like long enough. You want to tell everyone like where they could find you?
Oh
Oh,
no.
is it good now?
It cut out. I'm sorry, what was the question?
Oh, would you like to tell everyone where to find you before this live gets too wonky?
Yes. So I'm Blair Woods. So if you look up Blair Woods on Instagram, of course, you can see I'm at the Blair Woods. Up
Go
on
down.
Spotify or on Apple Music, you can find me at Blair Woods. And the easiest way to find me is to search Blair Woods and Never Enough, which is my first single that was ever out. That one pops up the fastest. So you can search Blair Woods on pretty much any streaming service and most social medias. I think I have all the social medias. I'm pretty sure.
Awesome. I'll probably find all those things and link it together for when I put it on YouTube. And this was a fun episode. Like, I'm really glad like we got to spoke and like finally mash things up. Like, it's been a long time since we're supposed to be doing this podcast.
I know it has been, and I'm sorry I couldn't do it on the actual podcast. My internet is just the worst.
Oh man, it happens. Like, but this was still fun. I feel like this could be like a gateway to do more podcasts this way because it feels kind of fun. And I've seen like people commenting. Sorry, I couldn't like get into it. Like, I'm
Yeah.
trying to like, do an interview with like one of the coolest people that I know. So I'll probably post this one up here, and I guess see you when you drop the music on Friday. It's gonna be awesome.
Yes. I'm so excited. Thank you for having me, Cam.
Always welcome. Stay awesome. Stay awesome, everyone. See you guys next time.
Bye.